our visitors. We have full house, which is nice to see people. So you guys are missing the ones that are at home. I hope everybody had a great summer. I can believe it's September and cloudy day, but let's start getting this call to order. And the first item on the agenda is public comments. Dawn, could you please go ahead with the public comments?
Absolutely. And also, if it's all right, I'll do a quick roll call before we get started.
Thank you.
So, just for everyone's notes, we are live streaming and recording this meeting, and both of those have already started. Jerry Abrahams?
Here.
Cindy Butts?
Here.
Wendy Clark? Phil DeFronto?
Here.
Heidi DeWeingart?
Here.
Claudio Gualtieri?
Here.
Timothy Hodges?
Here.
Kathy McKinnon?
Here.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno?
Here.
Commissioner Perez?
Here.
Franklin Perry?
Here.
Matt Puglisi?
Here.
Chelsea Ross?
Here.
Sarah Sanders?
Here.
Lisa Tupper Bates?
Here.
Greg Ugalde?
Here.
We do have a quorum in attendance for this meeting,
Thank you, Dawn. Go ahead with the public comments.
of course. This is the only opportunity on the agenda for the public to provide comments. If you would like to provide a comment, please unmute yourself and state your name, or if you're in the room, please let us know. To ensure that everyone has the opportunity, comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Hearing no comments, the public comment period has now ended.
Thank you, Dawn. Next, we have the report from our CEO.
Good morning. Good morning, members of the board. Welcome back. Hope you had a nice long summer and I'm gonna look at the owl. And had some took some R&R. My remarks are going to focus on one aspect of our 2024 goals relating to outreach and marketing efforts, and wanted to give a little bit of an update about that. So in service of that particular goal, we've done a bunch of different types of intentional appearances and presentations and interactions, both with traditional and sort of non-traditional stakeholders from CHFA's perspective. So we've, in terms of numbers, I'm talking like 36 events over 9 months, 9 media appearances. Some of the more interesting or sort of different ones have been around working directly with the lenders, realtors, and housing counseling agencies to partner up and do events across the state, particularly in areas where we don't see a lot of first-time mortgage business. We've done, we've been sponsoring events around the state where we feel that there's a connection or a particular way for us to be involved and foster certain relationships that otherwise would not happen. We've been promoting the Teachers Mortgage Assistance Program pretty heavily. If you recall, I think back in June, the Bond Commission approved $8 million. How much was it? Do you remember? 8 or 9? Anyway, it was some amount of $1 million for the Teachers Mortgage Assistance Program. And
Teachers program was 1 million.
Oh, it was only
and
one, okay.
The DAP is 8.
Okay.
So total of 9.
Right, but they segregated certain funds for that particular population, and so we've actually done some marketing around it with the Department of Education, Department of Housing, and we received some really positive feedback. We've been raising awareness through media appearances. The most sort of perhaps different thing we've been doing recently is directly interacting with towns and we're finding that there's significant sort of need and receptiveness, I should say, for the information that we're giving and presenting in terms of our programs. And so, you know, we've done some stuff in Rocky Hill. We're looking at the Housing Task Force in Old Saybrook. And, you know, these towns are looking to flesh out their affordable housing plans. Most recently, we made an appearance at the Connecticut chapter of American Planning Association Housing Forum. That's a mouthful, but they had a half-day-long convening of town planners. And we were there. We presented about the Build for CT program, and that was well received. From a data perspective, we're working with the partnership to develop a short form of videos that will explain some of the key takeaways of our housing needs assessment from earlier this year or late last year. And that series is set to launch in early October. We're also starting to partner with the Center for Housing Opportunity to create and support a common platform for understanding and explaining housing challenges using data at the local, regional, and statewide level in order to raise awareness and to provide the basis for making decisions at those various levels. And we're planning on some webinars in early 2025. So just to say that all of this work that we're doing, very intentional, focused, you know, they're imperative, they're valuable, and we're finding that the reception is positive. It's raising the profile not only of the organization, but also of all of our programs and resources in order to make them available to a variety of different stakeholders. Changing gears a little bit, as many of you do know, we are out of time to own funds. We are expecting new funding at the next State Bond Commission meeting, which is scheduled currently for the end of October. In the interim today, we're proposing to bridge the time to own funds with down payment assistance or DAP funds, which will then be replenished when we receive time to own funding. This would be to assist borrowers who are most at risk of losing out on their purchase contracts because they may have been in the midst of a housing search and moving toward contract when the program ran out of funding. And so we would like to bring that forward today for your approval, and then provided that we assist those borrowers, we would then open it up to other households until we receive approval from the state. I want to give a huge shout out to the team. They've been working really hard over the last several months, in some cases, to put together what is a very large agenda. I think today it's taken a lot of collaboration, a lot of diligence to create the work product, and I want to acknowledge their commitment to our mission every single day. One more plug I want to make is we do have a housing conference coming up at the end of October. I believe all of you board members have received invites. I know a couple of you have registered, so I just wanted to make sure to remind you that I believe there is a cap on the number of attendees, and we'd like to make sure that board members register to the extent they're interested in attending.
October 24th.
Correct. And finally, we are planning a board retreat for November 21st. We're going to try to make it as interactive as possible, maybe some interesting activities at the retreat, but it's going to be our last board meeting. We'll have lunch, and then we'll have like a half day. Like last year, we'll have some updates, and then we'll look for your input, maybe get some feedback from you on some of the longer term issues that are either emerging or that have evolved or evolving at the authorities. So the agenda is being developed now. I'm happy to provide any detail as the team starts to coalesce around some ideas. That's it. With that, I'll take your questions.
Thank you. Any questions, for Nandini? Okay. Oh, the baby. Next, Hazim, are you gonna present two resolutions? Why don't you start?
Yes, I am. So good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. For your approval, a resolution to appoint bond underwriters for CHFA bond programs, the Housing Mortgage Finance Program bonds, the state-supported special obligation bonds, and the housing revenue bonds. As required by our statute and procedures, we are to conduct to publish a RFP once every 3 years for bond underwriters. The appointment will be effective for 3 years or for calendar year 2025 through 2027. The last evaluation was done in 2021. In summary, we received 28 proposals, of which 9 were from firms that did not respond in 2021. With the assistance from our financial advisor, we reviewed and evaluated each proposal on a variety of items, including the firm's performances over the current engagement period, retail network, institutional investor relationship, housing bond expertise, underwriting, and credit capacity. I will review, summary review findings and supporting documentation are included in your packet. Accordingly, for the Housing Mortgage Finance Program bonds, we are recommending approval for 14 firms. 4 firms to act as senior manager on a rotational basis and by program. Bank of America Securities, Morgan Stanley, RBC Capital Markets, and Wells Fargo Bank. 4 firms to act as co-senior manager, where each firm will be partnered with a senior manager on a rotational basis and by program. Bancroft Capital, Drexel Hamilton, Nishler Financial Group, Stern Brothers and Company. 6 firms to act as co-managers, Barclays Capital, Janney Montgomery Scott, Jefferies Group, JP Morgan Securities, Ramirez and Co., and Roosevelt and Cross. For the state-supported special obligation bonds, we are recommending approval for 4 firms. 1 firm to act as senior manager, Ramirez and Co. 1 firm to act as a co-senior manager, Blaylock Van. 2 firms to act as co-managers, Academy Securities and Roosevelt and Cross. Finally, for the housing revenue bonds, we are recommending approval for 1 firm, Jefferies, to act as the senior manager. The resolution was presented to Finance Committee, and the committee asked a number of questions. Number 1 is pertaining to Wells Fargo and the recent enforcement action by OCC on September 12th, its impact to the overall recommendation. There were questions about the RFP process and whether or not anything has changed since 2021. And the number of responses, elevations, and relegations of firm. Due to the OCC action, the committee decided Wells Fargo will remain on the list. However, the authority will not utilize them as a senior manager for a few months or until the firm can provide CHFA comfort regarding the recent enforcement. The resolution was approved unanimously by committee, and I'll be happy to answer any question or address any comments by the board at this time.
Thank you, Hazim. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
I'll second Jerry.
Thank you, Jared. Any comments or questions? Okay, John, could you, please do the roll call?
Yes.
I even forgot what my steps are. So long.
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranzo,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Yes.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes,
Commissioner Perez, I'll come back. Franklin Perry.
Yes.
Thank you, Franklin. Commissioner Perez, I did just hear you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Don.
Thank
Hazin?
you. The next resolution is to approve a list of broker-dealer firms for CHFA production. In 2023, CHFA amended its procedures and added a section on broker-dealer. Broker-dealer allows CHFA to raise proceeds for its production through the sale of its mortgage-backed securities or bonds. As required by the amended CHFA procedures, our financial advisor, King Mitters, sent out a RFI to qualified firms. They received 25 responses, 16 for mortgage-backed security sales through TBA and 9 for selling group. After reviewing the responses with King Mitter, we are recommending approval of a list containing 11 firms, plus the authority bond underwriters for TBA sales and a list containing 24 firms for the selling group members. Both lists are incorporated in the resolution. The resolution was presented to Finance Committee, and committee asked a question about the selling group list and the difference between this particular list and the list presented in the prior resolution. The resolution was approved unanimously by committee, and I'll be happy to answer any questions or address any comments by the board at this time.
Thank you, Hazin. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Hazin?
Motion to approve.
Greg, can I have a second?
Seconded, Chelsea.
Thank you, Chelsea. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. Don, could you please do roll call?
Of course. Jerry Abrahams.
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Yes.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon. Kathy, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Aye. Sorry.
Thank you. Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes.
Thank you. Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Motion carries. The next is mortgage committee. Mortgage committee has been pretty busy, so Pat, you're gonna do the presentation of the resolutions.
Yes, I am. Good morning, everybody. I have a series of resolutions to present you, the first of which is for Chapin Place Apartments. It's a request for 4% low-income housing tax credits and tax-exempt bond financing. At Tuesday's mortgage committee meeting, Liz Valagorski presented a request to approve a first mortgage from tax-exempt bond financing for a permanent mortgage of up to $34.8 million at a rate of up to 6.35% with a maximum term of 35 years and an amortization of 40 years. The borrower is a Jonathan Rose entity. Chapin Place was originally built in 1979 with 148 elderly Section 8 units. The requested financing will be used to acquire and rehabilitate the property. The property has 148 units that are restricted to residents 62 years of age or older or young and disabled. 118 of the units will be restricted to incomes at or below 60% AMI, and 30% of the units will be restricted to incomes at or below 50% AMI. The property was previously in the CHFA portfolio, but was paid off in 2017. The requested financing will focus on upgrading aged building systems and unit interiors, including kitchens and bathrooms, and will return the property to the CHFA portfolio. In addition to the tax-exempt bond financing requested, other sources include $23 million in tax credit equity, $6.5 million in deferred developer fee, and $260,000 from operations. Members of the mortgage committee unanimously approved the request. I'll take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Pat. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Pat?
So moved.
Second, this is Heidi. Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I do. I have a question.
Yes.
So it says 50%, so 30 of the units. So there's a total of 147 units. Or it's 148 units. And it says the unit mix
Yes.
consists of 147. There's 100 with 1 2-bedroom. Okay. So basically all of the units are going to be below a 60 AMI.
Correct.
Okay. All right. That was just
Thank
the way that was worded, it just made me confused a little bit.
Hey, Pat, it's Tim Hodges. You mentioned this is a Jonathan Rose property. How long has it been a Jonathan Rose property, or did they just purchase it, or have they owned it for a while?
No, they were, I believe they were involved in the original construction of the property. And then in 2017, it looks like they did a refinance. And now they're coming back to us for the tax exempt bond financing. I'm sorry, Tim, I didn't hear you.
Tim? Tim, are you still there?
Thank you.
Wait, we cannot hear you well. Could you try again, please? Tim? Now, now, we cannot understand.
Can you guys not hear me?
Now,
Thank you.
go ahead.
You hear me now? Now,
Yes.
all I said was thank you, but I've said it 10 times. So thank you again, Pat.
Well, Tim, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Tim. Any other questions or comments? All right, hearing none, Dawn, could you please do roll call?
Yes. Jerry Abrahams.
Aye.
Cindy Butts.
Yes.
Wendy Clark. Phil DeFranzo.
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart.
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri.
Yes.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon.
Aye.
Commissioner Mosquero Bruno.
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes.
Franklin Perry.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross.
Yes.
Sarah Sanders.
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates.
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Dawn. Motion carries. Pat, the next resolution.
Yes, thank you. The next resolution is for the L at North Main in West Hartford, request for taxable bond financing and opportunity funds in association with a 2024 9% low-income housing tax credit award. At Tuesday's mortgage committee meeting, Deborah Alter requested the approval of an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $14.6 million for a construction to permanent, and an additional mortgage from taxable bond proceeds and from the Opportunity Fund to the nonprofit arm of the West Hartford Housing Authority. The first mortgage will be comprised of a construction loan of approximately $7.1 million, paying interest only for a term of up to 24 months at a rate of up to 7.35%, and a construction to permanent loan of approximately $6.5 million at a rate of up to 6.56%, interest only for up to 24 months and then amortizing for 40 years with a 35-year term. The additional mortgage will be funded from opportunity funds and will not exceed $1 million and will be at a rate of 1%. They'll be paid interest only during the 24-month construction period, then payable with 25% of adjusted cash flow during the 35-year permanent term. The L at North Main is a 2024 9% awardee. The project will be the partial adaptive reuse and new construction of 49 units on the site of a former synagogue in West Hartford that will provide 13 units at or below 30% AMI, 20 units at or below 50% AMI, 6 units at or below 60% AMI, and 10 unrestricted units. In addition to the taxable bond and opportunity fund financing, sources include $10.5 million in 9% tax credit equity, $5.5 million in funds from DOH, $3 million from the town of West Hartford, $660,000 in brownfield remediation funds from DECD, $1 million in deferred developer fee, and $161,000 in energy rebates. Members of the mortgage committee unanimously approved the request.
Thank you, Pat. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Pat?
So moved.
Is this a second? Who
Second.
seconded?
Kathy.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Yes,
Do we audit the costs in any way? Like, it just blows my mind when I think per unit costs is $559,000.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
mean,
we audit all costs.
can't we just buy them all like a little individual house in West?
If you can find the landfill.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just,
Yeah, we continue to watch these costs. As a matter of fact, one of the segments that we're doing at the housing conference is to talk about innovative ways in which we can try to drive these costs down. We're very, very sensitive to this, Phil. This has been an ongoing issue with the authority for probably decades as we've watched these numbers continue to creep. It's been significant creep over the past 4 years with the impact of the pandemic and supply chain issues. We have seen some leveling of costs over the recent term, and we're hopeful that we may even see a little bit of a downward trend in the near future. But yes, to answer your question, these costs are eye-opening, and we do audit them and review them on a very, very detailed basis.
is this a prevailing wages? Yeah.
Yes,
It does also has a big impact on the prevailing wages, especially because they went up. And also the housing authority acquired this property from a private individual. So it's a lot of elements that makes this project expensive, although they went through zoning and it was approved. So we really want to make sure that we support this type of projects.
right. If I might also point out, Phil, you have a remediation involved here. There are funds to offset that remediation. This is an adaptive reuse, and the adaptive reuse of any building is going to be more expensive than a ground up. There's demolition involved in this because they're taking a portion of the building down. There are also additional costs because they're trying to maintain the facade. It's beautiful stained glass. They're trying to maintain some of the integrity of the facade of the synagogue. So there's added costs in here, but there's also additional funding sources that are coming in to offset some of those costs. So we've tried over the past to focus on what's the actual cost of the development of the housing and take a look at really what other sources are coming in to offset some of these other needs.
Any other questions or comments?
Just one thing on that, Phil, we talk about it every meeting. I mean, that's our main focus because of the concern, especially since COVID.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, hearing none, Dawn, please do the roll call.
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco. Phil, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
yes.
Thank you. Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Aye.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Don. Motion carries. Pat, the last resolution?
This, yeah, I have two more after.
Oh, no, the last one. Okay.
This is, this last resolution that I'm presenting for financing is for Country Place and Country Place Two in Colchester. It's for modification of two existing deferred loans that exist on the two properties. At Tuesday's mortgage committee meeting, Liz Valagorski also made a request for the modification of the existing deferred loans on Country Place and Country Place Two. The request included an extension of the maturity date on the deferred loan for Country Place for 18 months to match the maturity of the deferred loan on Country Place Two. In addition, the request included the suspension of the accrual of interest on both deferred loans through the post-modification maturity, which is 18 months out. The Country Place properties are located in Colchester. The properties were developed in 1993 and 1995. The property is comprised of 194 total units, 146 of which are qualified. The original CHFA debt on Country Place matures at the end of this month, and the original CHFA debt on Country Place 2 matures in March of 2026. The deferred loans, which are the subject of the modification request, were originated by the state of Connecticut and were thereafter acquired by CHFA. The current owners are working towards retirement and have been negotiating with a buyer with significant CHFA and LIHTC experience. CHFA staff has been working with both buyer and seller to identify a workable financing structure that will provide for the acquisition and rehabilitation of the properties. The purpose of the modification will provide the time necessary to structure the proper financing for the property. At the committee questioned the curtailment of the interest on the deferred loan, but after discussion with CHFA staff, the members agreed that the curtailment was the best approach to ensure a successful outcome. The members of the mortgage committee unanimously approved the request.
Thank you, Pat. I can have a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved, Heidi.
Second, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, John, please do roll call.
Yes. Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranzo,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Aye.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara-Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
thank you. Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Motion carries. Lisa. Where is Lisa? Is it here? The next resolution?
Great. Good morning, everyone. Staff is recommending that the board authorize the CEO, executive director, to publish notice of CHFA's intent to adopt proposed amendments to the single-family procedures and to make the proposed amendments available for public comment. In addition, to adopt the resolution, providing there are no comments received, that the proposed amendments would become effective December 1st. CHFA staff has performed a review of the single-family procedures, and based on that review, staff is recommending revisions to the procedures in order to make certain clarifications to its programs and conform with industry standards, as well as to provide flexibility for future growth and industry changes while staying compliant with current statutes and regulations. The revisions to the bond-related items were also reviewed by our outside bond counsel. You received the complete red line versions with the attached memo summarizing many of the proposed changes in greater detail. And I would just highlight some of the more significant changes being proposed. We're updating the qualification of a participating lender based on the needs of the authority and the requirements set forth by state law and regulations. Update lenders' roles and responsibilities on document collection and post-closing. Memorialize the use of securitization for CHFA loans, which is our current practice. Adopt procedures for non-first-time homebuyer loan program. Update the DAP, EMAP, and other statutory programs based on current statutes. On the police program, we're no longer required to follow statutes, so we have determined that that police officers don't have to purchase in designated neighborhoods within their municipality. And we're continuing the program, obviously, beyond the pilot period. And then finally, to clarify that CHFA may offer housing counseling services directly or contract through other service providers in accordance with HUD's requirements. Members of the committee unanimously approved the request, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Lisa. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Lisa?
I'll make the motion, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. Have a second?
Second. That's Phil.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Any questions or comments? Okay, you're none. John, please do roll call.
Yes. Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranza,
Yes.
Patty DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Yes.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon.
Aye.
Kathy, I think you said yes, but I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Mascaro Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes.
Thank you. Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross. Chelsea, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I'll come back. Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross. The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Dawn. And Lisa, thank you and the staff for doing all this work. It really, it's just an opportunity to clean up and also to provide a little more flexibility and being able to help the people that needs the program. So thank you very much.
It was definitely a group effort.
Please let everybody knows that we appreciate that. Next is Pat, you're back
I'm back.
with another resolution. Back.
Hello
Very
again.
busy.
Before you is a resolution for the adoption of published amendments and authorization of public comment period and adoption of proposed additional amendments to the CHFA multifamily housing procedures. At Tuesday's Mortgage Committee, a request was presented for the adoption of the amended multifamily CHFA procedures as presented at the July 2024 board meeting and thereafter published for public comment, along with a request to authorize the publishing and contingent adoption of additional minor amendments included in the board materials for this month. The public comment period for the amendments presented at the July board meeting elapsed, with no comments having been received for the proposed modifications. Since that time, CHFA staff identified a few cleanup items that we would like to be addressed. A summary of those items is also attached in the board materials. These proposed changes are mostly administrative, but will require an additional public comment period. The resolution provides for the automatic adoption of the amendments if no comments are received. Members of the Mortgage Committee unanimously approved both the adoption of the July amendments and the publishing and contingent adoption of the new proposed amendments. I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Pat. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Pat?
I'll make
So
the motion,
moved.
Cindy. Yeah, or second.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Dawn, could you please do roll call?
Yes, can I just clarify who was moved and seconded that motion? Cindy, I heard your voice.
Greg?
Greg, thank you very
Greg?
much.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Yes.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Sorry, aye.
thank you. Commissioner Mascara Bruno. Commissioner, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross, Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Motion carries. Impact, please, extend the thanks to, the staff for doing this. It will make a lot of sense and developers will appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so you still have one more,
I
Pat?
still have one more.
One more.
This is a sort of an administrative item. So, this is a resolution for the request to establish authority limits for the small or emergency loan program. And on Tuesday, a resolution was presented for approval of the establishment of the authority limits for this small or emergency loan program. The program was adopted in CHFA's rental housing procedures and board resolutions in 2011, 2012, and 2014. Since its inception, CHFA has administered the program for the purpose of providing financial assistance to portfolio projects and the development of affordable housing. After review of the program by staff, it was determined that the delegated authority needed to be updated. In response to that determination, new limits have been proposed. The authority limits proposed included a limit of $1.5 million for new loan origination in the form of principal for any individual portfolio project, a modification of not more than $1.5 million in reduced principal and interest for any individual portfolio project, a limit of $500,000 in forgiveness of accrued interest only on any individual portfolio project, and $1.5 million in forgiveness of principal and interest amounts due or delinquent on any state project. Members of the mortgage committee unanimously and rather enthusiastically approved the request.
Thank you,
Take any
Pat.
questions?
Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Pat?
So moved, Heidi. Happily.
And second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, you're none. Dawn, please roll call.
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Yes.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Enthusiastically, yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross, Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Dawn. Motion carries. Hazim, you're back. You're gonna present the resolution for time to.
Yes, so as mentioned during Nandini's earlier remark this morning, the following resolution is to authorize CHFA to commit on a conditional basis up to $5 million of debt funds for the time to own forgivable loan program or TPO. By way of background, the state approved its biennium budget in 2023, which includes an allocation totaling 150 million over 2 fiscal years for the program, and CHFA, on behalf of DOH, is the program administrator. By the end of July, the program has depleted 75 million of the allocation and is awaiting new funding from the state. On September 5, DOH requested a portion of the remaining 75 million for the program, and due to the timing of the next bond commission, it requested CHFA to provide a liquidity bridge. The authorization will lapse once the state approve and transfer new funding for the program. I'll be happy to answer any question or address comments from the board.
Thank you, Hassan. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Hassan? I think Cindy is saying.
So
It
moved.
helps if I turn it off. I'll make the motion, Cindy.
Second.
Thank you, Lisa. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Tom, could you please do roll call?
Yes. Jerry Abrahams.
Aye.
Cindy Butts.
Yes.
Wendy Clark. Phil DeFranco.
Yes.
Heidi DeWineheart.
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri.
Yes.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Mascaro Bruno.
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes.
Franklin Perry.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross. Sarah Sanders.
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates.
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Don. Motion carries. Lisa, you're gonna come back to present a resolution about housing counseling services?
Yes. Staff is recommending approval of the attached resolution to satisfy the request of HUD's Office of Oversight and Accountability, confirming CHFA has the authority to provide housing counseling services in accordance with 24 CFR 214. HUD's Office of Housing Counseling, Office of Oversight and Accountability performed a compliance assessment and determined that although we have an existing HUD-approved resolution from 1978 concerning our ability to offer housing counseling services, they're requiring a new resolution with specific language relating to 24/7 FR 214. Happy to answer any questions.
I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Lisa.
So moved.
Second, Kathy.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Tom?
Jerry Abrahams.
Aye.
Cindy Butts.
Yes.
Wendy Clark. Phil DeFranco.
Yes.
Heidi DeWineheart.
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri.
Yes.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon.
Aye.
Commissioner Mascaro Bruno.
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes.
Franklin Perry.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross. Sarah Sanders.
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates.
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Dawn. Motion carries. And Pat, do you want to present the housing tax credit contribution program
Yes.
report?
Yes, good morning again. I'm going to be presenting the rating and ranking results for the 2024 Housing Tax Credit Contribution Program round. At Tuesday's Mortgage Committee, Colette Slover requested reported on the results of the 2024 HTCC round. In addition to the $10 million annual amount available for 2024, there were $615,177 in recaptured funds. There were 30 applicants received and 30 applications received this year for a total of $13,888,000 in requested funds. They were scored in this year's round. Staff conducted a quality and control review to ensure that the points items were properly awarded. Point categories include project feasibility and readiness to proceed, affordability, administrative capacity, livability initiatives, and compliance. Based on the rating and rankings, CHFA will issue reservations to 23 of the applicants for the full amount available of $10,615,177. The awardees are identified in the attached HCCC application scoring report. There were 2 applicants in the workforce housing set aside. There were 3 applications that were deemed eligible in the supportive housing set aside. And there were 3 applications that were deemed not eligible due to incomplete applications for the general classification. Some of the highlights I just want to quickly identify for you. 9 awardees will create new affordable housing units, rental and homeownership. 9 awardees will utilize the funds for capital needs and improvements for existing affordable housing. 3 awardees will utilize the funds for gap financing for projects with existing commitments. And 7 of the awardees will utilize the proceeds to create and or rehabilitate properties for homeownership opportunities. I'd like to thank staff at this point for the tremendous amount of effort that goes into this round. It's often forgotten, but it is a very, very important source of funds for the nonprofits in the state of Connecticut. With that said, I'll answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Pat. Any questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Good job. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Come on, guys.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay, comments or questions? Hearing none, John, will you do a roll call?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Claudio Gualtieri,
Aye.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mosquera Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross, Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Vote passes unanimously. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Before we end, we don't have any other business item, but if anyone wants to bring anything, have that question, this is the time. All right, so just please do not forget November 21st, which is the day that staff is working towards a retreat. So it would be very helpful to have most of the board members, if not all. And also the housing conference, October 24th. So I'm just gonna ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
You don't want
Somebody
to
else.
be right. And a second,
I'll
Second.
second.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Aye.